Very good morning to all the students. I hope you all have seen chapter 5, The Tiger's Claw, part 1. In part 1, we discussed about how the writer comes encounter with a fierce tiger and how he managed to keep stool and table in front of him. And when he is seeing that the tiger is he's scratching his nails on the floor, and how he is trying to manage him. And now moving ahead, we will see 4. All of a sudden, he sprang up and flung his entire weight on this lot of furniture. See, all of a sudden, what he did, he sprang up and he flung. Flung means he threw himself with a lot of force. In his entire weight, his full weight on this lot of furniture, on the furniture which was over there. I thought it did be reduced to matchwood. See what he thought, it might be broken with this. He thought that it reduced to matchwood. It was broken to matchwood, but fortunately, your railways have a lot of foresight. See what happened. Foresight means what? They have the ability to judge correctly about the what future, what is happening, and choose the heaviest timber for the furniture. So they have used a heavy timber. In that way, when this tiger is sprang and flung on the furniture, and he thought that now it is going to be broken, but what happened, the railway, they have a lot of foresight, they were having, and they choose the heaviest timber, the heavy timber for their furniture, and they saved me. The tiger could do nothing more than perch himself. See, the tiger, he could not do more than that. He jumped on that. He was not able to do anything to the writer. He perched himself. He sit on it, on a roof of a table. He sat over there on a roof of a table and hang down his paws, and then he kept his paws. Paws, they were hanging down, and he tried to strike me down. See, he also tried him to strike down, but I paired with a chair and stool, and he was paired with a chair and stool over there. The table rocked under him. See, the table that moved backward and forward rocked under him, under it was him. I fell smothered. See, he fell suffocated when that table that was moving backward and forward, and he felt smoothed. He was feeling, felt difficult to breathe in that moment. I could feel his breath too on me, and at that moment he was able to feel the breath of that tiger. He sat completely covering the top and went on shooting. See what is it that he sat completely over there. He was covering the top. All the top was covered, and he went on shooting his paws. He was shooting with his paws in my direction. He was catching in his direction. He was with tiger, and he would have scooped portion. See, what he would have a bit of meat, bit out meat. A scooped portion means bit out meat out of me for his use. See, he would have what he was thinking, writer, that he would now scooped a bit. It was a bit difficult for him, this situation, and that he would bit out meat from it. But fortunately, I sat right in the corner. That he was sitting right in the corner, a hair's breadth. What happened over here, that when he was sitting right in the corner, a hair's breadth out of his reach on my side. See what the hair's breadth, there was the hair's breadth on his side. Of hair's breadth means very close, too close it was. Hair's breadth on the side of the corner, out of his reach on any side. And he made vigorous sound. See, he was making a vigorous sound, means furious sound, and wriggled over my head, and he twisted his body with small or a quick movement. He moved his body towards me, dragged me out. It had come down. See, dragged and it had come down, but somehow the sight of the chair seemed to worry him for a part, and he was also worrying that somehow this would be in a serious. He preferred to be out of reach, and he was trying to keep himself out of reach of this tiger. This battle went on for a while, and it was going on for a while. I cannot say how long. See, he could not say how long the tiger would be over there. Time had come to a dead stop in my world. See, all he was remembering, he thought that, okay, now the time has come to that stop and of my world. Then he was thinking, now I won't be more because what he was thinking is become still and not proceeding further. Okay, what will happen? And he jumped down and walked about the table. Then what he did, he jumped down and he walked about the table looking for a gap, and he was looking for some gap he would hide. For a gap, I rattled the chair. See what the tiger did. He jumped down and he walked about the table looking for a gap and I rattled the chair a couple of times. Then the writer did, he rattled the chair. Means he made a noise like a series of knock, and couple of time he did, but very soon it lost all its terror for him. And very soon what happened, it lost all the terror what was there in mind, lost for him. And he patted the chair and found it inoffensive. See, means harmless he felt. Then he patted the chair, and what he found over there, that it was harmless. At this discovery, he tried to hurl it aside. See, in this he tried to throw something with a lot of force. Hurl means to throw something with a force, to something aside. But I was too quick for him, and it was very quick for him too. I swiftly drew it towards me, and it slowly, swiftly drew towards him very quickly and hurriedly. He drew it towards me and wedged it tight. And he wedged it tightly into an arc of a table. Arc means that a small covered top is there, covered top on the support that he had, and of the table, and the stool protected me on the another side, and the other side there was a stool that was protecting the writer. I was more or less in the stockade. See, he was more or less in some strong wooden fence to protect from an attack of the tiger, and made of the legs of furniture. The legs of the furniture means in the furniture or the table we have the legs of that. He sat up on his haunches in front of me. Let's see what happened over here. He sat up on his haunches. Haunches means he was sitting in the position, the top of the person's leg and their bottom. Haunches in front of me, in front of him, wondering how best to get me. And he would be wondering what will be the best to get him to be eaten. Haunches means now 6. Now the chair, table and stool had formed a solid block with me at their heart, and they could withstand all his trick. See what happened now over here. The chair and the table and the stool that had formed a solid block. It was like of a solid block in front of him with me at their heart. And they could withstand all his trick. See that he could withstand with all his trick he could do. He scrutinized my arrangement. Then what he did means he examined carefully to discover what has been my arrangement with a great interest. He was watching that what I was doing, and espied, suddenly saw something at the distance, espied a gap and thrust his paws in. And what he did, a gap was there, he thrust his paws in that, and it dangled. Dangled means what? It hung loosely in my eyes, in his eyes, with the curved claws. And his claws, they were curved claws opening out towards me, and it was opening towards me. I felt very angry at the sight of it, and he felt very angry at this sight. Why should I allow the offensive to be developed all in his own way. See, why should I allow him all these offensive to be developed in his way? So I felt very indignant. So he felt very angry and he was annoyed. And the long knife from the station master's table. See, on the table, what was the long knife was there? The station master's table was lying nearby, that it was lying nearby. I picked it up, he picked it up and drew it in, and it took in, and he withdrew his paws. See, in that moment, the tiger, he withdrew his paw, maddened by pain. And see what the writer did, he took the knife, long knife, and he picked it up and drove it in he drove in this in him, and there was a pain, and he jumped up and nearly brought down the room. He withdrew his paws, he took his paws over there, from there, maddened by pain, maddened by pain. The pain was there, and he jumped up and nearly brought down the room. So he jumped up and he brought down near the room, and then he tried to crack to bits the entire stockade. See, in this way he tried. He jumped up and nearly brought down the room, and it was jumped up and he went down the room, and then tried to crack to bits the bits entire stockade. And he did not succeed, but he did not succeed in that, and he once again then thrust his paws in, and he again kept his paws in. I employed the knife to good purpose and cut off a digit with the claws on it. See what he writer did again. Then when he once again he thrust his paws in, when he tiger kept his paws in, and writer employed that the knife was to good purpose, but a good purpose for him, and he cut off a digit with the claw on it. And it was a fight to finish between him and me. Then there was a fight between both of them. He returned again and again to the charge. See, he was coming in again and again over there, and I cut down, and again he used to use a knife, and he cut down, and let me confess. And what he said, let me confess over there, 3 claws before I had done with him. See what he said, he would confess that before I had done with him, I had become a bloodthirsty as he. See what he says over here, that he has become the bloodthirsty over here. Thirst means he was pushed forcefully in it. Bloodthirsty as he. Those claws mounted as gold are hanging around the neck of my daughter. See what he was thinking of, that claws, they were like a gold, and they were mounting around the neck of my daughter, of his daughter. And you can come and see them if you like something. So you can come and see it, what the writer says over here, that you can come and see it. What was it? See, in this, what the tigers, what is about this unit, in this unit we read is that when the tiger could not manage to get the hold writers, and he was sprang up the table and was perched himself up being the roof of the table. So tiger, he tried to strike down also, and the tiger was so close to the writer that he stopped his breath. He could feel his breath also. And not being successful, the tiger jumped down and he walked about the table looking the gap, and the writer rattled the chair and the couple of times. And this, the tiger sat up and he haunches in front of the writer, thinking about how the best to get him. And in this way, the tiger writer felt that he was very angry. Both the tiger and the writer, they have become bloodthirsty now. And luckily he found a long knife which was lying over there, and he picked it up and drove it into the tiger's paws. And the tiger withdrew his paws, being mad with pain was there, and again he thirsted in it. And the writer cut off the thirst, and he again pushed it in it, and he again cut the 3 of his claws. He cut the 3 claws, and the writer says proudly that it would be mounted on gold and hanging around the neck of his daughter. Hope you all have understood this chapter. Thank you.